In Britain, the government was alarmed by what had happened in Gujarat.
I was very worried about it. I was taking a great deal of personal interest, because India is a really important country with whom we have relations. So we had to handle it very carefully. What we did was to establish an inquiry and have a team go to the Gujarat and find out for themselves what had happened. And they produced a very thorough report.
The report, sent as a diplomatic cable and marked restricted, has never been published before.
Extent of violence much greater than reported. Widespread and systematic rape of Muslim women. Violence politically motivated. Aim was to purge Muslims from Hindu areas. Their systematic campaign of violence has all the hallmarks of ethnic cleansing.
This former senior diplomat was one of the investigators. He's speaking publicly for the first time about what the British inquiry found. He's asked to remain anonymous.
At least 2,000 people were murdered during the violence. The vast majority were Muslim. We described it as a pogrom, a deliberate and politically driven effort targeted at the Muslim community. The violence was widely reported to have been organized by an extremist Hindu nationalist group, the VHP, who have a relationship with the RSS.
The VHP and its allies could not have inflicted so much damage without the climate of impunity created by the state government. Narendra Modi is directly responsible.
The report contained an extraordinary claim.
Reliable contacts have told us Narendra Modi met senior police officers on the 27th of February and ordered them not to intervene in the rioting. Police contacts deny this meeting happened.
There were pretty credible reports he had specifically instructed the police not to intervene. The police contact who we talked to consistently denied that, so we did have conflicting reports on what his direct role had been. But we did feel it was clear there was a culture of impunity that created the environment for the violence to take place. That, undoubtedly, came from Modi.
While Modi remains in power, reconciliation will be impossible.
It was very shocking. These were very serious claims that Chief Minister Modi had played a pretty active part in pulling back the police and in tacitly encouraging the Hindu extremists. That was a particularly egregious example of political involvement, really to prevent the police from doing their job, which was to protect both communities, the Hindu and the Muslims. So the options open to us were fairly limited. We were never going to break diplomatic relations with India. But it is obviously a stain on his reputation. There's no way out of that.
The European Union carried out an investigation at around the same time. It reportedly found that ministers took active part in the violence, and senior police officers were instructed not to intervene in the rioting.
They looked upon this in terms of the suffering which had happened to the Muslim community. And if you look at it in that way, you're certainly bound to come to this conclusion that it was completely one-sided and that there was nothing done on the part of the administration to seriously check this. That it was a deliberate, pre-planned, motivated assault on Muslims by mobs who were not restrained is, to my mind, an exaggeration.
It was unstoppable for anyone. And as the Chief Minister, Modi did all the efforts. And after 3 days, he was able to stop with the help of police.
Modi definitely shows contrition. He even puts in his resignation to the BJP, but the BJP rejects it.
It was quite a smart thing to do, because politically, if you offer the resignation at that particular juncture and it is turned down, That's the end of your resignation drama.
My name is Cedric Prakash. I'm a Jesuit priest. My background has been on human rights, justice, and peace.
In Gujarat, human rights workers set up a citizens' tribunal, headed by 3 retired judges, to investigate the violence. Father Cedric helped them.
We wanted people from the government, officials, to come and depose before the citizens' tribunal. It was not easy, they were frightened. Their careers were at stake. On a flight to Delhi, I happened to be seated next to a minister of the Gujarat government. He belonged to the BJP. Harin Pandya was responsible for the home affairs of the state for several years. He just very recently relinquished office when Modi took over as chief minister of the state. He was telling me, I know everything what was happening. Then I said, we have the citizens' tribunal. Would you? He's saying, of course I'll be willing. He swore us to secrecy. We tried to do everything possible in order to protect his identity because he was big catch.
The tribunal was examining Mr. Modi's role, including the directions he had given to the police.
I think Harin Pandya wanted to explain what had transpired on the 27th of February, so he came to my office.
Mr. Pandya told the tribunal he had attended a late-night meeting with Mr. Modi and senior officials, and he claimed Mr. Modi said the police should not interfere with the Hindu